I want to now discuss one aspect of Scruton's idea of conservatism: respect for and connection with the dead, as part of a consideration of what it means to be indigenous. In this passage from the International Court of Justice's 1975 Western Sahara case, Judge Amoun captured what lies at the core of the idea of peoples being indigenous to a territory. He said, Mr. Bayana Baimea goes on to dismiss the materialistic concept of terra nullius, which led to this dismemberment of Africa following the Berlin Conference of 1885. He substitutes for this a spiritual notion. The ancestral tie between the land, or Mother Nature, and the man who was born therefrom remains attached thereto and must one day return thither to be united with his ancestors. This link is the basis of ownership of the soil, or better, of sovereignty. I write, I am not now concerned with the legal question. I'm concerned with the metaphysical question, the spiritual notion. The ancestral tie between the land and the man who was born therefrom, who remains attached thereto, and who must one day return thither to be united with his ancestors. This is it. This is the nub. This is the essence. This is the source. Because before we have the abstractions of law, we have things that are real. The law is not the origin. It is the ancestral bones in the land that is the source. It is the dust of the ancestors mixed with the dust of the land. It is from that land and dust that the people of the present came. And it is to that same dust and land that they remain attached. And it is to the same land that they will one day return to be united with their ancestors. At the core of all Aboriginal customary law, you find these elements: the ancestral tie to the land, the person born from that land, who remains attached to the land and whose spirits will one day return to that land. I would venture to say that these ideas are universal to all Indigenous conceptions of relationship to their country the world over. My point is that it is not the law that is the wellspring of indigeneity. It is a reality concerning the dead, the living and the people to come, and the country to which they are tied. It is a similar reality of which Scruton writes when he refers to Burke's view of society as an association of the dead, the living, and the unborn. If Burke's association is real, then it is real in the sense captured in Judge Amoun's most apposite definition. On this interpretation, it is theoretically possible to take Andrew Bolt seriously when he protests that he too is indigenous to this country. The bones and dust of his ancestors and all settler and immigrant Australians who made this continent their home have been accumulating and mixing with the ancient soil for 226 years. Aboriginal laws and customs recognise the connections that arise from places of birth and burial. In a real sense, the Bolts are becoming indigenous to Australia. Perhaps he could recognise in turn that the bones of Gullalwar Yunupingu's ancestors have been returning for millennia to the lands from which they arose. Thank you.